Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, Raja Gogasikoder 1719. The Earth's poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, are two of the most extreme and mysterious places on our planet. Both are frozen, isolated and harsh, but the differences between them are far more than just geography. In this documentary, we dive deep into the unique worlds of the North and South Poles, exploring their climate, wildlife, history, and human presence. Imagine standing at the very top of the world, where every direction you look is ice and nothing else. That's the North Pole, the tip of our planet, floating in the middle of the Arctic Ocean. It's surrounded by continents like North America, Europe, and Asia, but itself is just a shifting sea of ice. Now, travel to the opposite end of the Earth, the South Pole. Here, it's not water beneath the ice, but an entire frozen continent, Antarctica. It's the coldest, driest, and windiest place on Earth, with ice stretching as far as the eye can see, and mountains buried beneath kilometers of frozen history. Though both poles are icy deserts, the North Pole drifts on ocean water, while the South Pole is anchored on solid land. This difference may seem small, but it shapes everything from climate and wildlife to human survival. One floats, the other stands tall, each with its own story to tell. The North and South Poles may both be freezing, but their climates couldn't be more different. At the North Pole, winter temperatures can drop to a bone-chilling -40 degrees Celsius, -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet in summer, the floating ice warms just enough to let some of the ocean show through. The Arctic is harsh, but it's slightly forgiving compared to its southern counterpart. The South Pole, however, is a world of extremes. Perched on a high plateau of solid ice, it regularly plunges below -60 degrees Celsius, -76 degrees Fahrenheit, making it the coldest place on Earth. The thick ice and high altitude trap the cold, creating a frozen wasteland where even the strongest winds can feel relentless. So why the difference? The North Pole sits on water that absorbs heat from the ocean, while the South Pole's solid ice amplifies the cold. These climate extremes shape everything around them, from the animals that survive there to the humans who dare to explore it. The North and South Poles may look like endless ice deserts, but life has found incredible ways to survive in both places in completely different forms. In the Arctic, or North Pole, polar bears roam the ice, hunting seals with unmatched patience. Arctic foxes dart across the snow, and whales glide through the icy waters beneath the ice sheets. This frozen ocean is alive with fish, plankton, and a delicate balance of predators and prey. Travel to the South Pole, and the scene changes dramatically. Penguins waddle across the snow, seals bask on the ice, and seabirds soar in the frigid winds. Here, no land predators exist. The harsh frozen continent is a world of survival against the elements rather than hunting other animals. The North and South Poles are like mirrors of life in extremes. One thrives on hunting in a frozen ocean. The other survives on adaptation to a frozen land. The wildlife of these poles tells the story of resilience in the harshest corners of our planet. Humans have always been fascinated by the poles, but living there is no easy task. In the North Pole, no one lives permanently on the ice itself. Yet the surrounding Arctic regions are home to indigenous communities like the Inuit, who have adapted to the harsh environment for centuries. They hunt, fish, and navigate the frozen world with knowledge passed down through generations. Scientists also visit the North Pole, setting up temporary research stations on ice or nearby lands to study climate and wildlife. The South Pole tells a different story. It's a land so extreme that no one lives there permanently. Only scientists venture to Antarctica, staying at research stations like the Amundsen-Scott South Pole Station to study ice cores, climate patterns, and the mysteries of the frozen continent. Life here is temporary, challenging, and entirely focused on exploration and discovery. The contrast is clear. The North Pole has people who have made it home, blending culture with survival, while the South Pole exists purely as a frontier for scientific adventure. When you think of the poles, you probably imagine endless ice, but the ice itself tells a very different story at each end of the Earth. At the North Pole, the ice floats on the Arctic Ocean. It shifts with the currents, thaws in summer, and refreezes in winter. This ever-changing frozen ocean is alive beneath the surface, supporting a delicate ecosystem that thrives in water as much as on ice. The South Pole, however, is built on solid land. Antarctica is a massive continent, covered by thick, permanent ice, some layers more than 4 kilometers thick. Unlike the North, the ice here rarely melts, storing nearly 90% of the world's ice and about 70% of its fresh water. In short, the North Pole drifts on water, while the South Pole stands on rock. This fundamental difference shapes the climate, wildlife, and even how humans can explore these frozen worlds. The poles may both be icy, but they are icy in very different ways. One of the most fascinating features of the poles is their extreme day and night cycles, unlike anywhere else on Earth. At the North Pole, the sun doesn't rise for 6 months during winter, plunging the region into total darkness. When summer arrives, the sun refuses to set for another 6 months, casting a surreal, endless daylight over the ice. The South Pole experiences the exact opposite cycle, with its own 6-month-long polar night and polar day. These extreme light conditions shape life in extraordinary ways. Animals adapt to survive months of darkness or continuous light, while human explorers must adjust their routines to the strange rhythm of the sun. And then there are the skies. Both poles host breathtaking auroras, the northern lights in the Arctic and the southern lights in Antarctica, turning the night sky into a shimmering canvas of greens, purples, and pinks. The poles remind us that even in the harshest environments, nature can paint scenes of unparalleled beauty. The poles have always been some of the most mysterious and challenging places on Earth, drawing explorers with a mix of curiosity, ambition, and courage. The North Pole was first claimed to be reached in 1909 by Robert Peary, though some debate still surrounds his journey. For centuries, brave adventurers tried to conquer the floating Arctic ice, facing treacherous seas, blizzards, and freezing temperatures in their quest for the top of the world. The South Pole tells a story of sheer determination and historic triumph. In 1911, Roald Amundsen became the first person to reach this icy frontier, beating the British explorer Robert Scott in one of the most famous races of exploration. Scott's team faced unimaginable hardships, highlighting the harsh reality of Antarctica's frozen expanse. Exploration at both poles is not just a tale of adventure. It is a testament to human courage, resilience, and the drive to understand the extremes of our planet. Each journey tells the story of survival, endurance, and the unending fascination humans have with the unknown. The poles are not just icy wonders, they are also fragile indicators of the planet's health. Climate change is transforming these extreme environments faster than ever before. In the Arctic, sea ice is melting at alarming rates, threatening the survival of polar bears, seals, and the indigenous communities who depend on the ice. Entire ecosystems are shifting, and rising ocean levels caused by melting ice ripple across the globe, affecting millions of people far from the poles. Antarctica faces its own crisis. Thick ice sheets are thinning, and massive glaciers are slowly collapsing into the sea. This frozen continent holds nearly 70% of the world's freshwater, and any significant loss could reshape coastlines worldwide. The story of the poles is a warning. These remote lands may seem distant, but what happens there affects every corner of the planet. Protecting them isn't just about saving ice. It's about safeguarding life on Earth itself. The North and South Poles are full of surprises, and some facts about them might leave you amazed. The North Pole floats on ocean ice, while the South Pole sits on a solid continent buried under kilometers of ice. Polar bears live only in the Arctic, while penguins call Antarctica home. There are no penguins in the north and no polar bears in the south. The South Pole is almost twice as cold as the North Pole, making it the coldest place on Earth. The Arctic ice can melt and refreeze with the seasons, but Antarctic ice is largely permanent, storing the planet's vast freshwater supply. The North Pole is somewhat accessible by ship or plane, while Antarctica is mostly isolated, visited only by researchers and explorers. These facts show how two icy worlds, seemingly similar, are completely unique. They reveal nature's creativity and resilience, teaching us that even in the harshest conditions, life and wonder find a way to thrive. The North Pole and the South Pole are more than just frozen extremes at the edges of our planet. They are windows into the incredible diversity and resilience of life on Earth. The North Pole, drifting on ocean ice, hosts polar bears, Arctic foxes, and ancient human cultures that have learned to survive in harmony with the frozen world. The South Pole, perched on a massive ice-covered continent, shelters penguins, seals, and scientists who brave the harshest conditions to uncover the secrets of our planet. These poles remind us of nature's power and fragility. They teach us that even in the most inhospitable places, life adapts, survives, and thrives. And they warn us. The changes we make on Earth ripple all the way to these distant, icy frontiers. The story of the poles is a story of wonder, survival, and responsibility. Protecting them is not just a duty. It's a chance to preserve the beauty and balance of our entire planet. Explore, learn, protect. The poles are calling, and their story is one we all share. So friends, this was today's amazing information. Hope you liked this video and learned something new. If you found the video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you again in the next video with another new and surprising thing. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned to learn. Jai Goga Sikutar Ma.